The vast blackness of space stretched endlessly before Fleet Commander Vex as he stared at the glowing screen in front of him. His sharp eyes focused on a new blip, a large ship moving fast and steady toward the core of the Galactic Empire. The alert on his console flashed in red. Unidentified warship detected, no clearance, no warning. Vex's heart beat faster. The Empire had never seen this before. No ship had ever entered their space without permission or warning, especially not a warship. This was a serious breach of their strict rules. "Commander Vex," came the voice of his communications officer, tense and urgent. "It's a human ship. The Resolute. No previous record in our database. It's moving directly toward the capital system. Humans." The name alone stirred a mix of curiosity and unease. The Empire had heard stories about humans, strange beings from a far-off star system, known for their boldness and strange customs, but not yet proven to be a threat. Until now. Vex turned toward the large viewing window where stars shimmered cold and distant. The Resolute appeared as a sleek, powerful ship, cutting through space, like a blade. Its design was unlike anything the Empire had seen before, simple but strong, built for speed and war. "Raise the alert," Vex ordered. "Prepare the fleet. No shots unless they fire first. I want all channels open for communication. We need to know their purpose." "Yes, Commander," the officer replied, fingers flying over the console. Across the bridge of the Resolute, Captain Jara stood tall and calm. She looked out the window at the vast emptiness of space, knowing that many eyes were watching her every move. "This is Captain Jara," she said quietly. "We are entering Empire space without clearance. Our mission is peaceful but urgent. We do not wish to fight." Her crew exchanged nervous glances. They knew the risks. The Empire's rules were clear. No ship could enter without permission. But humanity was different. They were ready to take risks for what they believed in. "Set course for the capital system," Jara ordered. "Maintain all shields and weapons on standby. We will not be caught off guard." The human crew worked efficiently, their trust in, their captain unshaken. They were a mix of soldiers, scientists, and diplomats, all trained for this moment. Back on the Empire's command bridge, alarms began to sound as more ships scrambled to intercept the Resolute. The Empire's fleet was powerful and vast, with hundreds of ships ready to defend their territory. Commander Vex watched as interceptors moved to block the human ship's path. "Open communications," he said. "Tell them to stop and identify themselves. If they refuse, prepare to disable their engines." The response was silence. Minutes passed. The humans made no move to respond. The tension in the room grew thicker. "Commander," said an officer nervously. "They're ignoring us." Vex clenched his jaw. "They are either very brave or very foolish." Suddenly, the Resolute's sensors detected the approaching Empire ships. Captain Jara raised her hand to halt the crew's preparations. "We are not here to start a war," she said firmly. "Hold your fire. Show them we mean no harm, but be ready for anything." Her calm confidence inspired the crew, who had trained for moments like this but never expected to be the first humans to challenge the Empire's might. The Empire fleet formed a blockade, forcing the Resolute to slow down. Commander Vex's voice was steady as he spoke over the open channel. "Human ship, you have entered restricted space without clearance. State your intentions or be considered hostile." There was a pause. Then Captain Jara's voice came through, clear and strong. "We seek peaceful contact. Our mission is to discuss alliance and trade. We will not attack unless provoked." The words surprised many in the Empire's command. This was unusual. Humans making the first move, speaking so openly and without fear. Vex studied the radar and ship data. The Resolute's weapon systems were advanced but unlike the Empire's. They seemed designed for precision, not destruction. "Very well," Vex said slowly. "We will allow limited communication. Lower your shields and prepare to dock for talks." Jara glanced at her crew. Lowering shields in enemy territory was risky, but they needed to build trust. "Shields down," she ordered. As the massive docking clamps of the Empire station engaged the Resolute, Many in the Empire wondered what the humans truly wanted. In the quiet moments before the doors opened, Captain Jara looked at the stars again. This was history in the making. Humans had entered the heart of the Galactic Empire, not as conquerors, but as equals ready to claim their place among the stars. The docking clamps of the Empire station locked firmly onto the Resolute. Inside the Resolute, the hum of the engines quieted as the ship settled into the massive port. Captain Jara stood at the front of the bridge, her face calm but alert. Around her, the crew prepared for what could be a peaceful meeting or a trap. Outside, the Empire officers watched closely. The human ship was unlike any they had seen before. Its bold entry into restricted space without warning sent ripples through the Empire's military and political circles. Some saw it as a challenge to their authority, others as a chance for new opportunity. Commander Vex paced the command room. He had spent his entire career enforcing the Empire's strict laws. To him, the humans' actions were reckless, dangerous. "No ship can simply enter without clearance," he muttered. "This will not be tolerated." On the Resolute, Captain Jara prepared to meet the Empire's envoy. She knew the stakes were high. A single wrong move could start a war. The airlock hissed, and the massive doors opened. A group of Empire officials, led by Admiral Chiron, stepped onto the Resolute. Chiron was a tall man with cold eyes. His uniform was decorated with medals, symbols of years of military power and success. "Captain Jara," Chiron said, his voice firm but respectful, "you have violated our space laws. Why have you come without permission?" Jara met his gaze steadily. "Admiral Chiron, we come in peace. Humanity seeks alliance and cooperation. We believe the galaxy is large enough for all to thrive, not just for one empire." Chiron's eyes narrowed. "Peace is a noble goal, but your entry here was a breach of protocol. Trust must be earned, not demanded." Jara nodded. "We understand your caution. That is why we came openly, ready to talk. We did not want to hide or sneak. We want a future where humans and the Empire work together." The conversation was tense but respectful. Both sides held their ground. The humans explained their technology: faster ships, strong shields, and unique weapons built for precision and defense. The Empire officials listened, some intrigued, others skeptical. Outside the meeting room, the Resolute's crew prepared for any possibility. Soldiers checked their gear, ready to defend the ship if needed. Scientists reviewed data from the Empire's sensors, trying to understand their new environment. Commander Vex returned to the bridge of the Empire station. He studied the human ship's data carefully. The humans were skilled and well organized. They showed no fear, no hesitation. This was something new. "Sir," his second-in-command said nervously, "the humans have not responded to further communications. They remain silent on some questions. Could this be a trap?" Vex shook his head. "No. Humans are bold, but not foolish. They want respect. We must find a way to work with them, or risk endless conflict." The Empire's political leaders were divided. Some wanted to crush the humans immediately, seeing them as a threat to their power. Others urged patience, hoping that cooperation could bring new strength to the Empire. Meanwhile, Captain Jara and Admiral Chiron walked together on the Resolute's observation deck. Stars gleamed far away, silent witnesses to their fragile peace. "Why do your people take such risks?" Chiron asked quietly. Jara smiled slightly. "Because we believe in freedom. We believe that no one should be ruled by fear. Humans fight for what they believe in, even when the odds are against us." Chiron looked away. "Your courage is impressive, but in the Empire, strength is shown through order and control. Strength can be many things," Jara replied, "and sometimes it comes from standing up for what is right." Back in the Empire's war room, tensions grew as more ships arrived near the Resolute. The Empire fleet was ready, but no one wanted to be the first to fire. Suddenly, a message came from an unknown source, a human ship far behind the Resolute. "This is Captain Zara of the human fleet. We support the Resolute. We come with no weapons ready to fire, but will protect our people." The Empire leaders were shocked. Humans were not alone. They had allies ready to stand by them. Commander Vex stood firm. This changes everything. The Empire must rethink its approach. Humans are not just bold, they are united. The Resolute's crew felt the weight of the moment. Their peaceful mission had turned into a test of wills between two powerful forces. Captain Jara returned to the bridge, addressing her crew. We are making history. Stay ready. Stay calm. Show them who we are. The Empire's fleet closed in slowly, tension rising. The galaxy held its breath. Would this meeting be the start of a new alliance, or the spark that ignited a war? The Resolute floated steadily at the Empire Station's docking bay. Inside, Captain Jara stood tall, her eyes sharp as she watched the monitors. The silence from the Empire fleet was heavy. No friendly signals, no threats. Yet, she knew this was only the calm before the storm. Captain, her communications officer said, Empire ships are moving closer. They have weapons ready, but no orders to fire. Jara nodded. Good. We want to avoid bloodshed. Keep shields up and weapons ready, but do not attack unless I say so. Her crew moved quickly but calmly. Soldiers checked their gear. Engineers ran final system checks. Everyone trusted their captain's calm leadership. Outside, the Empire's fleet tightened its circle. Commander Vex stood on the bridge of the lead ship, eyes fixed on the Resolute. His mind raced. The humans had entered without permission. Now they stood their ground, refusing to back down. Prepare boarding teams, Vex ordered. But hold until I give the command. The tension was thick. Everyone knew what might happen if the humans refused to cooperate. A fight could break out, and no one could predict the outcome. Inside the Resolute, an alert sounded suddenly. Sensors picked up a squadron of Empire fighters approaching fast, aiming to board the ship. Prepare to repel boarders. Jara commanded. Hold your positions. Use non-lethal force first. We want to protect lives, not take them. When the boarding fighters attached to the Resolute, the human crew was ready. Soldiers with stun weapons and advanced shields met the boarders. The fight was swift and precise. The humans did not want to kill, but they defended their ship fiercely. The Empire boarders were shocked by the humans' skill and discipline. One by one, the Empire soldiers were stunned and captured, unable to overcome the humans' tactics. Back on the Empire command ship, Vex watched in disbelief. They fight like veterans, he muttered. Their weapons are advanced and accurate. This is no simple crew. On the Resolute, Captain Jara walked calmly through the corridors. She checked on her crew and gave orders to secure the captured soldiers. These are not enemies, she said firmly. Treat them with respect. We want peace, not war. The Empire prisoners were surprised by the kindness. They expected harsh treatment, but found humane care. Some even began to question their own leaders' assumptions. Meanwhile, the human scientists worked quickly to analyze the Empire's ship systems they had accessed during the boarding. They found weaknesses and strengths, but also similarities to human technology. This is a chance to learn, Jara said. Knowledge is power, but power is nothing without honor. Back on the Empire command ship, Vex called a meeting with his officers. These humans are not what we expected, he said. Their strength is in their unity and courage. They do not seek to destroy us blindly. One officer argued, Commander, they broke the rules. Should we not crush this rebellion before it spreads? Vex shook his head. No, we must understand them. They are a new force in this galaxy. Fighting them blindly will only lead to more conflict. The Empire Council debated. Some wanted to isolate the humans and block all contact. Others argued for negotiation and diplomacy. On the Resolute, Captain Jara sent a message to the Empire. Leaders, we are willing to talk. We will show you that humans stand for peace and strength together, but we will never accept threats or tyranny. The message was clear and firm. Days passed as talks began between the human and Empire leaders. The tension slowly eased as both sides learned more about each other. Captain Jara impressed many with her honesty and courage. Commander Vex found himself respecting her despite their differences. One evening on the Resolute's observation deck, Jara and Vex met face to face. You are unlike any commander I have met, Vex said. Your people's strength is clear. I see why you refuse to back down. Jara smiled. And you are a true leader. It takes courage to listen and change. We have much to learn from each other. Their conversation was the start of a fragile friendship, one that could change the fate of the galaxy. But even as peace talks progressed, not everyone in the Empire was pleased. Secret factions prepared plans to undermine the humans and start a war. The risk of conflict still hung over everyone. Captain Jara knew the path ahead would be difficult, but humanity had shown its unseen strength, not just in weapons, but in heart and honor. The galaxy was watching, and humans were ready to make their mark. The halls of the Galactic Empire's capital buzzed with whispers and heated debates. News of the human warship Resolute and its bold, unannounced arrival spread quickly among the Empire's leaders. Many saw humanity's actions as a threat to the Empire's authority. Others believed it was a chance for something new, a chance to change the galaxy's future. Commander Vex stood before the Empire's High Council. His face was serious as he addressed the leaders. Humans have entered our space without permission. Their technology is unlike anything we have seen. They do not fear us. This challenges everything we know about power in this galaxy. One council member, Senator Kor, spoke sharply. Commander Vex, this is a direct challenge to the Empire. We cannot allow any race to ignore our laws. We must respond with strength. Another voice, quieter but firm, was from Ambassador Lyra. Perhaps this is the moment to reconsider our approach. Humans are not just brash invaders. They bring new ideas about freedom, unity, and respect. If we reject them now, we may lose more than we gain. The room grew tense. The council was divided. Some called for war, others for peace. Back aboard the Resolute, Captain Jara watched the stars from the observation deck. The political struggles within the Empire made her wary. They are afraid, she said softly, to her second-in-command, Lieutenant Cole. Afraid that humans could change their way of life. Cole nodded. We must be patient, Captain. We came for peace, but we must be ready for war. The tension between the two sides was like a fragile thread holding a heavy weight. One wrong move could snap it. Meanwhile, spies and secret agents moved through the Empire's capital. Some were loyal to the old ways, ready to sabotage any chance of peace. Others quietly supported the humans, hoping for a better future. One night, a hidden message reached the Resolute. It was from an unknown source inside the Empire. Trust is rare. Watch your back. Some want war, not peace. Captain Jara read the message carefully. We must be cautious, she told her crew. Not everyone in the Empire wants what is best for their people. Commander Vex, too, faced pressure. His officers pushed for stronger action against the humans. Yet he believed dialogue was the only way forward. We cannot destroy what we do not understand, he said quietly to his closest advisors. Humans have shown strength, not just in battle, but in will. We must listen. To prove goodwill, the Empire offered a new agreement, a joint research project where human and Empire scientists would work together on technology that could benefit both. Jara agreed. It was a small step, but a step forward. As humans and Empire scientists worked side by side, tensions slowly eased. They discovered new ideas and shared knowledge. Respect grew between the teams. But outside the labs, not everyone was happy. Rumors spread that the humans were spies, planning to take control of the Empire from within. Captain Jara faced these fears with calm determination. We came here not to conquer, but to build a future where all can live free and strong. Admiral, Kyran, once a fierce opponent, began to see the humans in a new light. Their courage is real, he admitted during a private talk with Vex. Perhaps we underestimated them. Yet, as peace talks continued, dark forces plotted in secret. A faction within the Empire planned to attack the Resolute and blame the humans for breaking the truce. The danger was growing. One evening, as the Resolute prepared for a meeting with the Empire's leaders, A warning came through the communications system. "Captain Jara," the message said, "there are plans to attack your ship. You must be ready." Jara gathered her crew. "We face enemies we cannot see," she said firmly, "but we will stand together, as one. We fight not for conquest, but for peace." The stage was set for a battle that could decide the galaxy's fate, but in the shadows, something else was stirring. A chance for change if only the leaders on both sides could choose it. The Resolute hummed softly as it orbited the Empire's capital planet. Inside, Captain Jara stood at the command console, watching the space outside. The warning of an attack hung heavy in the air, but her calm did not falter. "We must be ready," she said to Lieutenant Cole. "But remember, our mission is peace." The crew moved efficiently, checking weapons and shields, preparing for any sign of danger. They trusted Jara's steady leadership. Meanwhile, on the Empire station, Commander Vex paced in his command room. He was troubled. The secret attack plans showed that not everyone in the Empire wanted peace, but he believed in the talks with humanity. A message came from the Empire High Council urging caution. "The humans have proven their strength. We cannot ignore threats within our own ranks." Vex replied, "We will watch closely, but I will not let fear guide us into war." The tension between factions in the Empire grew. Some prepared ships in secret, ready to strike the Resolute and blame the humans for breaking peace. Admiral Chiron, once suspicious of the humans, now advocated for cooperation. "This war will destroy us all," he told the council. "We must find a way to unite." The day of the meeting arrived. In a grand hall on the capital planet, humans and Empire leaders gathered. Captain Jara and Commander Vex stood side by side, their expressions serious but hopeful. The room was filled with tension as representatives spoke. Some voiced anger and fear, others spoke of hope and change. Jara spoke clearly. "We come not as enemies, but as partners. Our people seek friendship, respect, and a future where all can live free." Vex added, "The Empire is strong because of order and discipline, but strength also means accepting new allies. We can grow stronger together." The debate was long and heated. Secret agents moved in the shadows, watching every move. Suddenly, alarms blared. The station shook. An explosion rocked the building. Chaos erupted. Some called it an accident. Others said it was an attack. Captain Jara immediately ordered her crew to security positions. "Protect the delegates, find the attackers." Commander Vex's face hardened. "This is no accident. Someone wants to break this peace." The humans and Empire soldiers worked together to secure the hall. They found evidence of sabotage, weapons planted in secret. The meeting resumed, but trust was fragile. Jara looked at Vex. "We must find those who want war. Only then can peace survive." Vex nodded. "Agreed, but the line between friend and foe grows thin." Over the next days, investigations uncovered a group within the Empire's military plotting to start a war by attacking the Resolute and blaming humans. Captain Jara offered to help stop the conspirators. "We want peace. We will stand with you to protect it." Vex hesitated but accepted. Together they planned a mission to catch the traitors. Under cover of night, human and Empire forces moved to capture the conspirators. The mission was dangerous but successful. The conspirators were arrested, their plans stopped before they could start a war. The news shocked the Empire. Some leaders called for punishment, others called for reform. Captain Jara and Commander Vex addressed the public together. "Today we proved that peace is possible," Jara said. "We faced danger and chose unity." Vex added, "The Empire and humanity can be stronger together. We must protect this fragile alliance." The people of the galaxy watched closely. A new era seemed possible. But challenges remained. Old fears and distrust still lingered. Jara looked to the stars, knowing the future was uncertain. But together, she thought, we can face whatever comes. The Resolute was no longer just a warship. It had become a symbol of hope, courage, and a chance for a better galaxy. The galaxy held its breath as the fragile alliance between humanity and the Galactic Empire took its first real steps. The Resolute remained docked at the Empire's capital station, no longer seen as an intruder, but as a symbol of a new era. Captain. Jara stood on the observation deck looking out at the stars. The vast darkness was no longer empty or threatening. It was full of promise. She thought about how far humanity had come, from a distant, unknown species to a force respected and feared by the greatest empire in the galaxy. Behind her, the hum of the station was calm. The crew of the Resolute worked quietly, repairing the ship and preparing for the journey ahead. They knew challenges awaited, both from outside and within. Commander Vex approached quietly. He had changed. The hard lines of his face were softer now, shaped by respect and understanding. "Captain," he said, "the Council has accepted the treaty. The Empire will open its borders to human trade and cooperation." Jara smiled. "That is good news, but we must remember, trust is built over time." Vex nodded. "Agreed. But this is a new dawn for us all." Together, they walked through the busy corridors of the station. Humans and Empire officers moved side by side, a sight once unimaginable. In the council chambers, leaders discussed plans to rebuild trust among their people. Cultural exchanges were planned. Shared defense. Efforts against common threats were considered. The galaxy was no longer divided by fear, but peace was never easy. Rumors of rebellion and old enemies reached their ears. A small faction in the outer systems refused to accept the alliance. They saw humans as invaders and the Empire's leadership. As weak Jara knew these challenges would test their unity. "We must stay strong," she told her crew. "Our mission is more than survival. It is to show the galaxy a better way." One day, news arrived of a pirate attack on a human colony near the Empire's border. The pirates were violent and well-armed. The colony sent a desperate call for help. Without hesitation, the Resolute prepared to respond. "Protecting the innocent is our duty," Jara said firmly. "We will not wait for permission when lives are at risk." The ship launched into space, joining Empire vessels already on the way. Together they formed a powerful force. The battle was fierce. The pirates fought hard, but the humans and Empire crews fought harder, side by side. Their coordinated attacks overwhelmed the enemy. After the battle, survivors thanked the Resolute's crew. The unity shown in that fight became a symbol of hope for many. Back on the station, Vex and Jara reported to the Council. "This victory proves what we can achieve together," Vex said. "Our combined strength protects peace," Jara added. "It is only the beginning. The galaxy will face many dangers, but if we stand united, we will overcome them." As the stars shone brightly outside the station's windows, the Resolute prepared for a new mission: to explore the unknown, to build alliances, and to protect freedom wherever it was threatened. Captain Jara stood at the helm, confident and ready. The galaxy was no longer the place it once was. Humans had entered not as conquerors but as equals, brave, strong, and full of hope. A new dawn had arrived.